An increase in the cost of water is the latest slug to Tasmanians' hip pocket. In 3 months, most householders will be paying an extra $100 a year or more. The economic regulator released his draft price determination yesterday, confirming consumers will suffer price rises to help cover the cost of upgrading neglected and ageing infrastructure. As Fiona Breen reports, for many people it's just another bill at a time when they're struggling to keep up with rising costs of living.
Dance Day at the Clarence Senior Citizens Club in Hobart is a popular weekly pastime and a great chance for these older Tasmanians to catch up for a chat. More recently, the cost of living has dominated conversations in between dance numbers. One of the bills they're finding hard to swallow is the new water and sewerage bill.
Each year he's got a different pricing thing, depending on what the council had been charging before. And it'll take up to 5 years to, all be equal. So and I don't think that's a bit fair.
We were told when the changeover came, that it wasn't going to be any longer on our rates. It was going to be a separate charge. We were told that it would be less. No, it's a lot more.
An ad hoc billing system previously administered by local councils has resulted in huge discrepancies between suburbs and sometimes even between streets, generating confusion.
We can't understand why, like at Austin's Ferry, we seem to pay a lot more than what they do like at Howrah, compared with some of these, some of the dancers have been, talking together.
$160 and they're moaning about it.
$1,472.
Glenorchy resident Brian Miller keeps a meticulous record of his bills. He's kept rates, water and sewerage bills since the water corporations came into being in 2009. Any hope that rates bills would stay down as water bills go up were quickly dashed.
The council bills came down, and we expected that because they couldn't charge us for sewerage and water, but they didn't come down enough. When you add what we're paying to Glenorchy council rates and the Southern Water, add the two together, the total has gone up each year.
He's also particularly unhappy that his water bill is about twice as much as his son's in nearby West Hobart.
I'm not happy about the disparity in the pricing between various municipalities.
This week, the economic regulator has recommended new water and sewerage charges. For householders, the target bill for the north and south is about $950, including similar fixed rates of $270 for water and $480 for sewerage, and an average usage of 200 kilolitres costing $180. In the northwest, residents will be slugged more, nearly $1,200, $380 for water, $590 for sewerage, and an average usage of $184. For some, it means hefty price increases.
We have so many customers who are paying so far below the target tariff.
It won't happen overnight. The economic regulator has recommended reducing price shocks to $100 or 10% of the bill, whichever brings it closer to the target quicker.
In Hobart, for example, or in southern Tasmania, I think we have a range for a residential customer from $100 to over $4,000.
It's not good news for those already paying more than the target tariffs. Their bills will be frozen for another 2 years.
Councils had various ways of charging water and sewerage on so many cents in the dollar value on the property, and so consequently there was some huge discrepancies, and I think Glenorchy ratepayers seem to have come out by far the worst.
Just checking the joints, leakage, no, all good.
Customers already paying the target charges won't escape increases. They face an annual 6% jump for the next 3 years.
By 30th of June, all residential properties will have meters, and hopefully all commercial properties across the state will be metered. And so from 1 July 2012, we will be in a position that we can start to charge all of our customers effectively on a two-part basis: a fixed price for the water and sewage service and a volumetric charge for the water that they actually consume.
The first bill will only cover about 14 days of usage. It'll be the second bill in October that will hurt the hip pocket. Another bitter pill for people in the north who already have a nasty taste in their mouths from a chaotic billing system. In the confusion, some stopped paying. They're now dealing with debt collectors.
I hear through the Ratepayers Association that these are now coming through. That after all this period of delay and deferral and incorrect accounts, that now the letters are arriving. And of course that can be traumatic, particularly for people who have probably never owed money in their life, always paid their bills on time, and they are confronted by a situation that is quite foreign and fearful to them.
In the south, the rollout of meters has upset many. Unit owners feel hard done by. They can't have their own meter unless everyone in the block agrees. And then they have to pay for installation, which can be around $700.
I think it's particularly unfair when you live in a unit and we've been told that we can't have a separate meter unless each one decides on the same. And we've got to look at it this way: those other four, they may not save the water as we will, you know, so therefore we've got to pay a part of the water that they may waste.
For many, it's a ticking time bomb for neighbourhood disputes.
The biggest problem with it, as far as I'm concerned, is that we live in a unit just up the street here, and they are going to charge us by volume. They will not be able to tell me how much water I have used, and I think that is completely wrong.
Renters have also been confused. They don't have to pay for water unless their unit is individually metered, but that hasn't stopped some landlords from trying to pass on costs.
A few times we've had where tenants have been charged the whole water bill. We've also had situations where a tenant has moved out and a new tenant's moved in, and someone's been charged for the previous water usage, and that can't happen, or it's not allowed to happen. So yeah, there's been a lot of things going on with that.
It's prompted the Tenants' Union to issue a warning to renters to query any rent rises. It all adds up to a lot of confusion and hip pocket pain.